Guys, there's a lot of speculation to where Jim Harbaugh may be going. He does have an interview set in Minnesota for tomorrow. What do we think?
All right, so as a Detroit Lions supporter, I do not want Jim Harbaugh in the NFC North. I know some people in the chat have already said, not scared of Jim.
I am.
Look, yeah, you know what? Look, guys, if he was some unproven college coach with a big name, charisma, trying to make it to the NFL, I would so be on board with you. May I remind you, in 4 years in the NFL, he went to 3 straight title games. And his worst season was his last season when he had fallen out with ownership and Balky. And they had went, what? A shocking 8-8. Didn't even have a losing season in the NFL. Unreal. Unreal. If Harbaugh takes the job in Minnesota, I think it's one of the better jobs out there. I like the GM hire, player personnel out of Cleveland. I like what Chicago did, to be honest. I like Ryan Poles. I think he'll be okay, but the head coaching hire kind of made me scratch my head a little bit, but we'll see what they do at OC. But again, Minnesota, Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook, Adam Thielen. They have the offense. They have the weapons. Do they have the quarterback? No. Jim Harbaugh won with Colin Kaepernick and Alex Smith. I think he can win 10, 11 games with Kirk Cousins and push for the division. I think that's a minimum. And has the defense regressed? Sure. I am sure they will address it in the offseason. They have some playmakers on defense. Minnesota, in my opinion, if you're Jim Harbaugh over Miami, you definitely take the Minnesota job.
Yeah.
It's a weaker division. Chicago's in a rebuild. The Lions are technically in a rebuild, yes. But, you know, I would say the Lions are a year away, 2 years at most from catching up in terms of talent. But that could all change, honestly, this draft. So you don't really know. You really need to see what happens in this draft. Who do they select? Lions aren't so far away. But again, the NFC North is the NFC North, and it always has been. And I think if Jim goes there, I think it's a better job for him than going to a division with Bill Belichick and Josh Allen. Yeah, I'll pass. There's nothing attractive about the Miami job except control. The only reason he would go to Miami is because of Ross and his relationship with him. And he knows he would be at least guaranteed 4 or 5 years before anybody would ask questions. I think Minnesota's the job for him. And he'll interview Wednesday, and we'll see if they even offer him the job.
Yeah,
who knows?
That's the question.
Maybe this is all a ploy still to get money from Michigan. I don't know. But Michigan, if you haven't hired him yet, and he's going to interview on National Signing Day, what do you want me to tell you? What can I tell you, Michigan fans, that would make you feel better? I don't know what to tell you. All I know is that in 7 years, he won 1 Big Ten title. It's not the end of the world, but he's brought you back to where you always have been, which is a 9-10 win team every year who doesn't beat their rivals. That's what Michigan has always been. So, yeah, good luck finding somebody else who can change that narrative.
And listen, from reading the reports and following the story, I agree. From Jim Harbaugh's perspective, Minnesota is attractive. But the question I have is now they're interviewing 3 guys, arguably 4, D'Amico Ryans and Raheem. I don't really know who's the third between those 2 guys. But Kevin O'Connell, Jim Harbaugh, they're going to go out. They're flying out to L.A. They interview both the L.A. Rams assistants, both coordinators, and they're all finalists. And obviously Kevin O'Connell has that relationship already with Kirk Cousins. He was his quarterback coach in Washington. And now Jim Harbaugh, obviously, with Jim, has ties to the NFL. He's trying to get back in it. So the question is, do the Vikings, will they want Jim? I'm sure. But what?
What do you make of this comment? Adam, Jim Caldwell. Harbaugh was no better than Jim Caldwell. You ready for this? Adam, really. Harbaugh was like a Caldwell every year except his team and the Niners got worse, if I recall. Well, buddy, you recall incorrectly. I'll tell you why. His first year, they go 13-3. They win a playoff game. They lose in the NFC title game. Second year, they finish 11-4, win the division for a second straight year. They win the NFC conference. They lose in the Super Bowl. Third year, they go 12-4, losing the NFC title game. And then in the fourth year, they go 8-8. That's Jim Caldwell. The dude has 5 playoff wins. Really? Come on, guys. What are we doing this morning? Jeff, what's the better fit for Jim Harbaugh? Is it Minnesota, Miami, stay in college?
I think Minnesota. Just because you said the division, the team, that team's more built to win now. Obviously, quarterback, they have to figure it out. But Kirk Cousins, I think, is suitable enough for them to win a couple games. So I'll say Minnesota.
Imagine telling me that Jim Harbaugh is Jim Caldwell, and this dude went to 3 straight NFC title games and won 2 divisions in 4 years. Unreal. In a division with Russell Wilson? Come on. And it was the Legion of Boom Russell Wilson, may I add. That was the prime Niner and Seahawk years. You guys all remember the playoff matchups? The Waddle the Finger Richard Sherman. You guys all remember it? Unreal. Sorry. I really want to make this point, but I'm not sure how you'll receive it. Jim Caldwell, whatever he decides to do will be successful. I may not agree with him going to Miami. I don't think that's the best decision for him. But hey, he's his own man. He can make his own decisions. But you have to remember, if Harbaugh returns to Michigan, they will likely win 9-10 games next year. If he goes to Minnesota, they likely win 9-10-11 games next year.
Yeah.
That's his track record. He is a winning coach. If you don't think Jim Harbaugh doesn't come to the NFC North, going to the Minnesota Vikings, and you don't think he wins minimum three division games his first year, goes at least 3-3, and wins 10-11 games and gets a wild card spot, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you.
The Vikings already aren't a bad team.
And it's easier to make the playoffs. Yes, and they were really good this year. They just collapsed late.
Yeah.
They started off rough, they got hot, and then they collapsed late. And their quarterback had 33 touchdowns and 4 interceptions? Kirk Cousins, mind you. That is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Look, the Zimmer project didn't work. Is Harbaugh the quarterback whisperer? I'm not bought into that narrative. But I know he's a damn good football coach. And I know if he walks into any NFL franchise, they're going to be better. Are they going to win you a Super Bowl? Like, that one team wins it every year.
Yeah.
One team.
I'd actually love to see him at the Vikings. I think it'd be very cool
I think
to
it's
see
a good
him.
fit.
I think
What
it'd
do
be
you
very
think?
cool to see him coaching with Kirk Cousins, too. MSU, U of M. It would be an interesting flash from the past, if you will. But I like it. I think it would be a good fit for him. Because, again, they're not a bad team. They've shown us that they can win games. He would be successful there regardless. I like that fit for him, definitely over Miami. And personally, over staying at Michigan as well.
You know what? I will sympathize with Michigan fans this morning. At least for a little bit. Like, make a decision, man.
Isn't it? It feels
Signing
like
day's Wednesday. There's recruits that want to know what they're doing with their futures.
staff.
Your fan base, your staff.
I feel like it's a free for all down there.
Yeah,
in Ann Arbor a little bit.
I'm not sure I like how it's going, but to be honest with you, you did cut his pay. You
Yes.
asked for this.
Jim's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
You cut his pay. He over delivers the 1 year after you do it, and you haven't offered him the house. Where are the reports saying he's getting a Mel Tucker deal? Where are they?
No, it's just under.
I
that.
haven't seen them.
No, it's not over Mel.
Where are the rumors and the reports that they're putting together a $100 million contract to keep him for the next 10 years? Where is it? Where's that report? It doesn't exist. And you want him to stay? Come on. Oh, wow. The real question. Is Jim Harbaugh a better head coach than Mike Zimmer? Yes, absolutely.
He's more accomplished and he's coached.
Well, not only is
a
he
fraction of the years.
more accomplished,
He's coached like 4 years.
Jim Harbaugh is what I would classify as an overall well-rounded head coach. Mike Zimmer, extremely talented on the defensive side. The Minnesota Vikings had one of the worst defenses this year. That's not a recipe for success. Mike Zimmer did win a division. He's gotten to the playoffs. That's all nice. He's no Jim Harbaugh. And they're not even close. Jim Caldwell's nowhere near Jim Harbaugh. Mike Zimmer's nowhere near Jim Harbaugh. This is like not even a conversation. But I will say, Harbaugh needs to make a decision sooner than later. The optics of it aren't right, especially for these kids. The university, their beef, whatever they have with him, that's their problem. They asked for this. They sat there for 6 years, watched him underachieve, really, even though he still delivered 10-win seasons. And they had the gall to complain and the nerve to complain. When in reality, that's what Michigan always has been. They win 9-10 games and they don't win the big games. This year he gets them to a college football playoff, beats Ohio State, wins the Big Ten championship in blowout fashion.
Do you think in a way Jim in the back of his head is thinking maybe this is the ceiling at Michigan, especially with the NIL now and Michigan not fully committed to going that route? Now you lost Ajabo, you lost obviously Aiden Hutchinson, of course. You lose Mike McDonald. Do you think there's any way of, in his mind, he's like, listen, if I'm going to make the NFL, I'm going to try it right now because I don't want to come back to Michigan in a couple of years thinking,
well, yeah, if you go back to last year, they had 2 wins, correct?
Yeah.
They went 2-4 in the COVID year. No NFL team would give him an interview. Nobody was even interested.
Mm-hmm.
Wins the Big Ten championship, college football playoff.
Great time to do it.
His stock is the highest it can be right now at Michigan. You will not win a national title at Michigan.
Not
anytime
to mention
soon.
He's not winning
until
the Big Ten
NIL is
next year. Not a chance.
You need
That's
to
Ohio
up your
State's
game.
year.
Yeah, this is a 3-5 year project still to get to
Yeah.
a natty.
Mm-hmm.
You need to invest in NIL. Like there's so much that still needs to be done at the university, and I think that's part of Jim's frustrations. It's like, all right, NIL's happened. I already get out recruited by the SEC. There's nothing I can really do down there.
And now NIL.
Now Mel Tucker from the South is coming up here, and he's doing a hell of a job. I got to deal with Ohio State. And you won't even give me NIL money to work with here?
Yeah.
Come on. Hey, you made it all the way through. I'm so proud of you. Why don't you make me more proud? Like, subscribe, and watch another video.